All right, well, welcome you all here. Did I see Councilmember Williams come in? Where's she? Oh, she's hiding in the back. So Councilmember Williams is here with us. Thank you for coming. We've got just a few topics that we're going to cover today, and we'll jump right in. We have some updates on the YES program that we did this past summer, which was a youth enrichment program. Youth Enrichment Summer Program is the what the acronym of YES spells out. And so this past summer, we provided a package of youth enrichment that included free bus rides, access to pools, golf and foot golf, and free lunches, and forgiveness of library fees, and a whole list of services. These were all available for youth from 7 to 17 years old. And this was all paid for by community development block grants. And so to update you on some of the numbers that I think are pretty cool. So 79 of these people took advantage of the restarting their library account. So it's our little amnesty for youth, I guess, for getting their library accounts get back and going. 95 back to school packets were distributed between for kids who completed a 5-week library challenge. We had 1,213 meals that were served through the New Life program. We handed out 1,381 bus passes that allowed kids to travel freely to many of the parks and community centers. We had 3,324 pool passes that were taken advantage of for our area pools. And so I want to thank John Hall, Troy Houtman, the transit director, Steve Spade, who we don't really need to thank because he's gone, our library director, Cindy Berner, and the many dedicated staff. And I don't know if there's anything to add to that. Anyone want to add anything? Did I miss anything? Sure, go ahead and jump up here, and then we'll move into Open Streets.
So just to touch base a little bit more in regards to the whole effort with the CAS program, was that there were several departments within the city that looked at some barriers of getting kids to places, whether it's getting them to work, getting them to school, getting them to recreational opportunities. And so there was several directors throughout the city that kind of got together and worked on this program. So the unintended outcome of this was that we really wanted to get kids out and moving, and other benefits was also that they got to learn how to ride the bus. I'm not the transit director, but I'm a big proponent of transit, and Steve Spade, who just left us, has this program in place that teaches these kids how to ride the bus. And so we wanted to develop this situation where there's no barriers. All summer long, there was no barriers for these kids to get where they wanted to go and take advantage of all the great things that happen within the city. So I just wanted to throw that in there as well.
Appreciate it. Perfect. I will add one more to that, because Councilmember Meitzner had to drop a vehicle off just this past week after school had started, and he dropped one of his vehicles off and then rode the bus back to City Hall. And so he was on the East Central Street bus, and he's ridden it several times over the last few years, periodically, and he said there was barely an open seat. The bus was absolutely packed, and he was wondering, why is this bus so busy? And then he noticed the students that were getting on and off. And so we have a new program now where we're serving 259's transit needs, working out with this kind of a pilot program. But I can tell you just anecdotally, the first experience one of our council members had is the bus was entirely filled. And so those are what we're trying to achieve. Obviously, you know that your program's working when you have those kinds of results and responses. Open Streets, we'll jump into that right quick. So Open Streets is going to be approaching us very soon. It's a community-based initiative designed to close off streets to motor vehicles. And it's going to be on September 24th from noon to 4. And We have a lot of components. I have a whole list, but rather than me sit here and talk about this whole list, I know we have multiple people that want to talk about Open Streets. I will bring up Troy, and Troy, you let your team come up and let's figure out all of the cool things that are going to happen here. I know we have other partners that are part of this Open Streets event, including $12,000 that was awarded to us through AARP. So we want to thank AARP for their donation on this challenge grant that was given. So I'm gonna hand it off, and Troy, you guide us through the Open Streets with your team.
Very good. Well, Mayor, first of all, we got our volunteer T-shirts, and so we want to give you the very first volunteer T-shirt.
Thank you.
So.
Be able to see me coming.
That's right. And we have a quick little video to show you guys. One of our partners, Cake, who's our media partner, helped us with this video. I'll let you guys take a look at this.
Streets aren't just for cars. Open Streets ICT, a new community event Sunday, September 24th from noon to 4. From Clifton Square to Delano, Douglas will be closed to traffic and open to active transportation, entertainment, music, food, and more. Come create a healthier Wichita community. Visit OpenStreetsICT.com for details and a full list of activities and vendors.
So fantastic. We're trying to get the word out in regards to Open Streets. It's September 24th. It's going to be a huge day for us. It's not just a city event, it's a whole community event. We've had ton of partners. We have about 20 different partners working on this, and we've had a lot of different interests throughout the city. And the reason why it's so big is we're closing 4.1 miles of Douglas. And throughout that 4.1 miles of Douglas, there's going to be a lot of different activities. We're going to have several stages that's going to have entertainment. But the biggest component of this is we really want people to bring their bikes down and enjoy the street or walking on the street so they can see the street in a different light. All the vendors along the street are also going to be providing some services as well, and a lot of the businesses that are normally closed on Douglas are going to be opening up and sharing the experience as well. So it's going to be a really fun day. It's 4 hours. It's kind of short, but you got to come down with your bicycle and ride Douglas and have a great time. We have the website that's available for us to take a look at that if you need to. Also the Facebook page. We're also still looking for volunteers as well. But this is something that's never been done before. And to kick it off at 12 o'clock over at the Kennedy Square, the three university presidents, all the three university presidents are going to be there together, which rarely happens. And this is what we're talking about, bringing the community together. They're going to kick it off along with the vice mayor. I know the mayor would want to be there, but he's out of town. And so the vice mayor, who is actually a big part of the catalyst of this event, she's going to kick it off. So we're pretty excited about that as well. The underline of this is really bringing the community together from east to west, just having this bridge, bringing everybody together. And no particular cause other than to have a good time and get everybody to enjoy Douglas in a whole different way. And it spawned off a lot of different other interests on the way as well. So we've had some technology aspects to this. We've had some alternative transportation aspects pop in with this as well. And a big thanks to the Community Foundation, who has actually provided us with a $20,000 grant to get this going. So without the Community Foundation seeing the impact of this and seeing the future of what this event could be, we wouldn't be able to do this. So it's not just a city event, like I mentioned. There's a lot of other players in it, and we're pretty excited about it. So I just wanted to give you guys the overview on that, and if you have any questions, let us know. But visit our webpage.
Did you have someone else from the team that you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, these folks have also been working on some integral parts of it, so come on up.
Hi there, my name is Erin Howerton, and I'm from the Wichita Public Library. And the Wichita Public Library and Bike Walk Wichita are really excited to make our city's past available in a new way during Open Streets. Not only do we hope that more of our fellow citizens get outside and have fun being active, we also hope that they will discover the hidden treasures of our local archives and the stories of the innovative people that have called Wichita home over the years with our new app-based tours available through Wichita History Walk. We greatly appreciate the generous support of AARP, without whom this project would not be possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hesitate to ask if Jane has anything to add. I guess I just did.
Jeff knows I'm always happy to promote alternate transportation, especially walking. This wonderful historical app will be good for the next year of walking that 4 miles of downtown. Thank you very much. It's entertaining, and educational.
Absolutely.
Oh, and healthy. Did I mention
Absolutely.
healthy?
That's all good. Thank you, Jane. It is a neat opportunity for our city. I wish I could be there. I will be on assignment in France, and so I almost was ready to cancel my France trip for this, but I'm going to go ahead and stick it out. So I want to bring up our representative from the fire department to talk a little bit about the stair climb that we're going to be participating in remembrance of September 11th and certainly the terrorist attacks that happened. And so in recognition of Patriots Day, the Wichita Fire Department is going to participate again in a stair climb. The firefighters are going to be climbing the Rough and Epic building. That's a lot of floors if you haven't been there. And so I'm going to bring up, is it Mark Mishek? Did I get that correctly? And let him explain what they're going to be doing to commemorate, pay respect, and recognition of Patriots Day. So Mark, why don't you share?
Thanks, sir. Again, my name is Mark Mishak. I'm a lieutenant with Wichita Fire Department, and I serve as the marketing director for the Wichita 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. Several years ago, several area firefighters participated in an event similar to this in some other cities and found it to be a very moving experience. So we kind of banded together to bring the event here to Wichita. So we partnered with Rough and Epic, Stover's Restoration, Klein Construction, to basically host this event. This is our 3rd year. And we bring in firefighters from around the region that climb 110 stories in full structural firefighting gear in memory of the 343 firefighters that were lost on 9/11. Each firefighter is assigned a name badge for one of the firefighters that had fallen. So for example, our committee climbed this last Tuesday, and I climbed for Joseph Maloney, who was a firefighter with Ladder 3. So it's kind of a personal experience for each firefighter to be assigned a member of the 343. They many times will research the individual. We have climbers that make contact with families. We've had family members come and attend the event. So it's a good way for firefighters that are in this service to always remember those individuals that paid that ultimate sacrifice on that day. The message we're really trying to get out this year is that while you have to be a firefighter to participate in this event, it's open to the public. And so we have static fire apparatus displays in the parking lot. Weather permitting, Eagle Med will land a helicopter in the parking lot. There's some children's activities inside the Epic Center, and we actually have video broadcast on several monitors throughout the building showing the firefighters climbing the stairs in full gear. So we're encouraging the community to get more involved with it. It is a family event. We're trying to get more attendance in that area. Any money that we do raise, we are a charitable organization, any money raised above hosting the climb goes to our benefactor, the FDNY Fire Family Transport. They're an organization that provide transportation services for over 900 firefighters currently battling 9/11 illnesses. So the money we do raise above the event does go to a charity that continues to deal with the effects of 9/11 and the after effects and how it's affected emergency responders. I would entertain any questions if anybody had any.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
That's an awesome opportunity to remember those that gave us, obviously, the ultimate sacrifice. And so I would encourage the public to get out there. I'm thinking, Mark, that this ought to be recorded, and so the mayor's special communications staff person should probably climb it with you. And what Mark didn't tell you is not only were they in full gear, he carried a hose with him through 110 flights. And how heavy was that?
It was on Jose, 25 pounds, 30 pounds, plus 70 pounds of gear.
Wow, so you're carrying 110 pounds. So we'll only have my assistant carry like 20 pounds extra. Maybe some camera equipment. All right. Well, that's awesome. We appreciate everyone here for the update today, and we'll open it up if there's any questions on any topics. I believe our schedule still allows me next week to share before I head off to France.
I just have a question about update on Gander Mountain.
I'm not sure that I have any relevant updated information. We're still working through what that's going to mean. I can tell you that we've had all kinds of different reports from, so what we do know is Gander Mountain has gone through bankruptcy, which means they're going to reorganize. My understanding is that potentially there could be a wide variety of ways that reorganization resurfaces, potentially even here in Wichita. We don't know yet. So the reality is we don't know if it could become Gander Outdoor World. We don't know if it'll go away completely. The only thing that we know that's relevant to any of this is the Gander Mountain Wichita store was their highest performing store in the United States. So what that means for future opportunities, we don't know yet.
And the last question, would you like to say anything on behalf of the Brewer family?
You know, certainly our hearts go out, and that's an incredibly tragic set of events, and I know that we've had several council members that have touched base with our former mayor. Our police department is still working their way through that investigation along with different partners, and so our deepest sympathies, and hopefully they will find closure at some point in time to just a horrifying ordeal that you wouldn't want anyone to have to deal with. But so very tragic, and our hearts go out to the Brewer family and all of those impacted. All right, thank you all.